শিরসমণ্ডল জয় জয় রাধা শ্যাম
শিরসমণ্ডল জয় জয় রাধা শ্যাম
জয় জয় রাস লীলা সর্ব মনোরাম
জয় জয় রাস লীলা সর্ব মনোরাম
জয় জয় রস লীলা সর্ব মনোরাম
জয় জয় রাস
লীলা
সর্ব মনোরাম
জয় জয় জ্বাল রস সর্বরস
জয় জয় রস সর্বরস
পরখিয়া ভাবে যাহা ব্রজেতে প্রচার
পরখিয়া ভাবে যা ব্রজতে প্রচার
পরখিয়া ভাবে যাহা ব্রজেতে প্রচার পরখিয়া ভাবে যাহা ব্রজেতে প্রচার শ্রী জানব পাদ পদ্ম করিয়া স্মরণ
শ্রী জানব
পদ পদ্ম
করিয়া স্মরণ
শ্রী জানব পাদ পদ্ম করিয়া স্মরণ
শ্রী জানব
পাদ পদ্ম
করিয়া স্মরণ
দীন কৃষ্ণ দাস কোহে নাম সংকীর্তন
দীন কৃষ্ণ দাস কোয়ে নাম সংকীর্তন
দীন কৃষ্ণ দাস কোহে নাম সংকীর্তন
দীন কৃষ্ণ দাস
কোহে
নাম সংকীর্তন
জয় রাধে জয় কৃষ্ণ জয় বৃন্দাবন
জয় রাধে জয় কৃষ্ণ জয় বৃন্দাবন
শ্রী গোবিন্দ গোপীনাথ মদন মোহন Govindo Gopinato Madana Mohan
Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan
Jayo Radhe Jayo Krishna Jayo Vrindavan
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 Jai Ho
Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki
Jai Ho
Jai Yamuna
जमुना फूली ने कदम्ब कानों ने की हरीनो सखिया
Is it a blue day or whatever turquoise or same
Who's next on the schedule? I think there's a schedule.
There's always a schedule, but do we follow?
Well, everyone was late, so people.
Even when you go to wedding, you know, mother wants to eat. So
श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय
Does it like when she's singing down onto it? You do this bit, put it towards you, like just down.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
There's a bit of a booming sound.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Please raise your hands. Follow Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. There's a booming sound. The middle is a bit high. Middle should be pumped down. Presence up. Bass up. Take the middle bit. Otherwise, it's not natural sound. It's like, okay. Huh? Yeah, I know.
We've turned it off. We've turned it off. It's off.
Turn that. Yeah, be careful of the sound, you know. Okay, so how many people know how Madan Mohan deity came about? You know? Anybody else? You know the Madan Mohan deity, which was looked after by Sanatana Goswami? If you go to the Parikrama Marg, there's a Madan Mohan temple there. So Sanatana Goswami took care of it, but how did it come originally? If anybody knows, this Madan Mohan deity, just the Krishna, not the Radharani, because that gets added later, was worshipped by Kubja. Didn't know that, do we? So Kubja used to worship it, and then it was buried, and then Advaita Acharya ji decided in Shantipur to go to Vrindavan. And as he was leaving, on the opposite was coming Haridas Thakur. So I told Haridas, look, I'm going to go. Can you be in Shantipur and preach there? Because I'm going to Vrindavan. So he blessed him. So when he came down there, when he came to the birthplace, because everybody used to go to Mathura, because what we know is Vrindavan, buildings and everything, it was actually a van. It was a forest. So the Yamuna was there. And so they would go to the birthplace. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Mathura first. And that's why sometimes called Mathura Mandal. And so when he went to birthplace, he just remembered the pastimes of Krishna, and he fainted. And he fainted because he couldn't believe, because this is Mahavishnu and Sadashivaji combined. And they have a post in the universe. We take it, even Lord Vishnu has ability to just come anytime he likes. He doesn't. They are governing in those areas. So when they do come, when the pastime happens, they suddenly realize that is the Supreme Lord's Janam place, like that. And he just fainted like that. And then he heard the sound saying, I am buried in, I forget the name, but what do they call it? The mound of, so there's a word for it. Anyway, I'm over there. And, you know, the one you went to where Rup Goswami, Tila, something Tila. Okay. So then he thought, okay, I'll have a look. So he went looking. And where Madan Mohan temple is, and he found that there was some sort of burial thing. He got a spade, and he dug out, and Madan Mohanji came out. And then he made the brick thing. We didn't make the temple, and put Madan Mohanji on top like that and start to worship. And the word went round that Lordship has appeared on this tilla. So then people would come, and it got popular. And the Nawab of the area found out. He goes, the Hindus are sort of really enthused again, because the main thing about the Mughal Raj was to destroy the Hindu Dharma. You know, to rule as well, but destroy that. That was like their goal. So they said, go and destroy the deities and throw it in the river, you know. So then the Mughals came, because they came by force and went through the villages destroying them. The word got round, and then Advaita Acharya hid himself away from the temple like that. Said, these Mughals are coming, I don't know what they're going to do, because he's from Shantipur. I mean, he was thinking, I don't know this area. So he hid himself. And they came. And when they came, they didn't see the deity there. They realized somebody's moved it. And so they went back and told the Nawab, we went there, but the deity wasn't there. Somebody moved it. Because how did they know that you're coming? I thought it was a surprise attack. So we don't know. So, okay, well, keep an eye on it. They'll come back again. Anyway, Advaita Acharya was so upset, because they heard they came and they destroyed a few things. And he came crying, and there was just the mound there, the platform, no deity. And he fell down. He goes, Lordship, I'm afraid I didn't protect you. Listen carefully. He says, I was unable to protect you. A devotee, it breaks their heart to see their beloved one being removed or moved or something, you know, like that. And then he started to cry like that. And suddenly there was a voice saying, don't worry, I hid myself behind a tree when they came. They didn't see me. And he was sitting on the top again. And you've come. And then he was so surprised because you're here. And then what happened, he goes, the Lordship says, well, you should go back now to Shantipur. You've taken my darshan. And so he said, but I can't do without you because look at this miracle. You hid yourself and I don't want to go back. What am I going to do there? And it's so difficult to separate yourself from Vrindavan and the deity there. And then he says, no, go to Sevakunj and there'll be a Chitrapat there, drawn there, which was drawn by Lalita. For Radharani, when she used to feel separation, she would draw it. He said, take that Chitrapat and take it to Shantipur and you install it there. Apparently, we went to Shantipur, where you did Kirtan as well. Yeah, but I can't remember seeing the picture, but I say it's there. So Lalita ji had drawn that Chitrapat. I mean, they were painting in then, Yeah, of Lord Krishna. Because Chitra Devi used to be good at drawing. And then he said, take the deity to this Chaturvedi people and give them this deity, they look after me. So then the deity went there, and when Sanatana Goswami came, he used to do bhiksha. So this one Buddha used to look after Madan Mohan, and Madan Mohan came in the dream saying, please, when the Babaji comes for bhiksha, just give me to him, She said, what, don't you like my service? He said, you will die, and but nobody will then worship me. But if Babaji takes you, they'll worship me forever, So then the next time Babaji is a bhiksha there, he goes, please take the Sarup of the Lord. You go, whoa. I sleep under one tree one night. I mean, you're telling me I've got to tie myself down to looking after deity. He goes, I can't take the responsibility. And then he went. And in the dream, the Lordship came. He goes, next time you go collect me from this lady. He told the lady, you must insist. So next time when he went, he says, okay, I've got the order. So it took him. And then he, on the Madan Mohan, where the temple is, they put the deity there. And then he would do bhiksha, and whatever he got, he gave it to the Lordship. So the Lordship communicated with him. He says, can you sort of put some salt in it, or, a little bit. I mean, so it's easy for me. I'm not really bothered. But if you put a bit of salt, he goes, today you ask for salt, tomorrow you'll ask for something else and all that. He said, I told you, I'm I'm bhikhari, I'm sannyasi, so I go around. So then he started to give a bit of salt. Slowly, Madan Mohan asked him more and more. And then a merchant came, there was flood in Yamuna, and the dacoits used to be there. And there was no other highways, it was just the Yamuna itself. They would come on in. And there was a kind of a storm, and the boat got stuck, and he realized, somebody's going to loot me. And so he prayed to the Lord. And then Sanatana Goswami came, and then he said, pray to the Lord, he'll help you. And the Lord did, and dislodged. And then he went to Delhi. When he came back, all the profit he made, he came back to Sanatana Goswami, saying, you saved my life. I want to build this temple over here. And then he made the Madan Mohan temple. Wow. Radha Madan Mohan ki. So when I heard it, I thought it's nice to know the three primary deities, because when you were singing, then he talks about Govindev, and Gopinath and Madan Mohan. So Govindev we know, and also we know the other one, what was it? Srinathji is that. So that's, what was the Maharaj's name? No, the one who found it. Oh, I always forget it. He's got Kheer Gopich. Okay, kya hai? MSA Shuru. Madhavendra Puri. Why do I forget that? Madhavendra Puri. So he found the Srinathji deity, but others say it's Vallabhji. He found it. So Prabhupada said, don't argue, but it's in Chaitanya Chaitanya that he found it. And so it's wonderful to know these primary deities there. There's also Radha Vallabh, there's Banke Bihari. Banke Bihari, I used to think, is just a small deity, like a Banke, because once I was there at the Nidhuban, and it was the Prakatar day like that. So I was thinking, what's happening? So they had little toys strung everywhere. I was thinking, what are these toys for? Because you come to Vrindavan thinking, I'm going to see the highest. And then you see these cheap toys. You're like, what festival is there with toys hanging? So I was there, and they were looking at the place where the deity was Prakatar. And once sannyasi was coming, and he hit his head on the tree, and he went, ah. And he started to just massage the thing. I said, well, we would have said sugar, or something else. He didn't. He just went like, I'm sorry I sort of hit you with my hand, And I was thinking, this is unusual. And they were all coming and standing and watching it. But, I'm sure they have one leg in the spiritual world, one here. And we just have both the legs or everything in the material world. I'm thinking, what's going on here? Cheap toys and everything. And then, so somebody kept saying, there was a group of them, they speculate. And they were saying that Banke Bihari is Bal Gopal. So he doesn't need, but that's not true. Because Sri Haridas Ji is actually Lalita. Lalita come back. And then Banke Bihari is both male and female, and Banke Bihari wears gagri every day. And they don't show his feet regularly. Once a year they show his feet, which means that's Radha and Krishna combined. And that's why he's on his own. So you find out it's Lalita and all that. So I want to dive into all these acharyas who looked after this deity. Because they're not like, you go to Jaipur and order a deity and then start to think. These are like manifested, what was the name of Brajnath? Brajnabs. They installed them. That's when Krishna was here. And they were buried and, they came up again. And Radharaman is exception. He just self-manifested like that. So with that sort of inspiring Leela of Radha Madan Mohan, I think we will ask somebody to sing Jai Radha Madhav. Have you got a list? You're going to sing? Oh, you're going to sing. Okay, Jai. Right, you're going to back her up? Do it right. And then there'll be a class. Yes, ready for it? Also, while they're setting up, Balaram Jayanti is going to be celebrated in two parts. On Thursday morning, because till 12 o'clock we fast, so we'll do Abhishek as well on all the Thursday. But then there's a lunar eclipse next day on Friday at 3 in the morning, early morning. So we can't have a Mangalarati on Friday. But the Sutak starts 12 hours before, so it'll be like 3:30 or 4. It's 4:30. 4:30 Sutak starts, so we can't have an evening program then. So we'll do the actually fasting on Thursday, half day fast. We'll come in, do the Abhishek, Kirtans and everything, 12 o'clock darshan, bit of prasad and everything. Then after 4 o'clock, you don't eat till next day. And then it's no fast on Friday, but it'll be evening program here. Friday evening program. And so if you want to do Raksha Bandhan, just do it in the morning on Thursday morning. So split into the actual fast on Thursday, celebration at lunchtime, but the next day in the evening. And so please remember, we'll be advertising. Jai.
श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
ओ जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
ओ जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन
यमुना तीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
ओ जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
ओ जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहार गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन।
यमुना तीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी।
यमुना तीरवनचारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरवरधारी।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Madhav Radhe.
Jayo Radha Raman, Radha Madhav Radhe.
Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav Radhe.
Jayo Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav Radhe.
Jayo Jayo Prabhupada,
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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada.
Oh Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada,
Jayo Jayo Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jayo Jayo Gurudev.
Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jaya Gurudev.
Nittai Gora
Nittai
Hari Bol,
Gaur,
Hari Bol,
Nittai Gaur,
Hari Bol, Nittai Gora Hari Bol.
Oh Nittai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gora Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Nittai Gor, Nittai Gor, Nittai Gor, Nittai Gor.
Nittai Gaur, Nittai Gaur, Nittai Gaur, Nittai Gaur.
श्री राधा माधव की जय। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Should be okay. Just 1 minute. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming, and we'll start with the invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So you'll just see with the first slide coming up on the monitor. The topic for today's class is hearing about devotees. And there's a lot of significance about hearing about devotees. As we know, we understand hearing about Lord is important, but hearing about devotees is also so very important. And Srimad Bhagavatam, it illustrates us. We all know what is Srimad Bhagavatam about. Srimad Bhagavatam is all about Shri Krishna and his devotees. And there's so many pastimes of so many exalted devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is not just about the avatars, the incarnations, it's also about the devotees of the Lord as well. So what does hearing helps us? In general, I'm not talking about Srimad Bhagavatam or say spirituality here. What is hearing all about? When in general in life, when we hear something, what's the significance of hearing? Yeah. Learning, and when we go to work or when we talk to our children, when we are in school, college or whatever, when we're studying, we hear and we take the instructions and we do as you told, like they used to say to children in the past, but I don't think you can say that now. Yeah. So hearing is very significant. It's one of the very important senses given to us by the Lord. And hearing is something, if you see your ears, they're always open, isn't it? The eyes, they close and shut. The mouth, same thing. It's only when some of us we sleep, it just stays open involuntarily. But the ears, they're always open. So another thing, we have got 2 ears. Okay, we have got 2 eyes, but we've got 2 open ears. So, and we've only got 1 mouth. So another significance of hearing here, there's something more which Lord expects us from our ears, apart from all the mundane things we hear and we like to hear, so-called we like to hear. And through hearing only, when we hear about the devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam of all the great devotees, we understand the devotional service. The devotional service is very nicely explained in all the verses, beginning from the first verse to the last verse. If you just read the verses, you don't understand much. But when we started to read the purports of Srila Prabhupada, everything started to become clear to us. And in the purports, Srila Prabhupada hammers one thing to all of us as devotees. It is devotional service. And if any of us was given Srimad Bhagavatam, set of Srimad Bhagavatam and said, okay, you study it, I don't think we would have learned much. No matter how much studious or how much determined we were, we would be just sitting there with the Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, looking at the Sanskrit shlokas, the translation at the most, but still it doesn't make so much sense to our, our psychology or ourselves, or to our consciousness. But reading the purports, these purports given by Srila Prabhupada are not just ordinary purports. They've got the condensed knowledge given by all the acharyas, and it's like storehouse, treasure trove of knowledge, these purports. And these purports, they explain to us the devotional service. And just before the Jai Radha Madhav, Haridas Prabhuji was telling us about how Madan Mohan deity came up, and about Sanatan Goswami. And these acharyas, these Goswamis, we wouldn't know much about if it wasn't for the translation, especially the English translation. For most of us, we would be not much familiar with the what's there in the Shastras for us. So hearing is very significant, and hearing is where the devotional service starts. We hear, it goes to our heart. Modern science doesn't agree with that we hear and it goes to our heart, but through the spirituals, Shastras, we know we hear and that goes to our heart, and like Srila Prabhupada says to us that our hearts become clean, they become cleansed of the dirt which we have accumulated births after birth. So you say this to any modern student or modern person, they will not believe, but if they hear strong commentaries or strong lectures of Srila Prabhupada, eventually they will start to understand. So if we can have a next slide, please. All right, it's okay. So the next is the process. The process. What's the process? How hearing should be done? Our Shastras, they have got rules and regulations for everything. They have also got rules that how we should hear. How hearing should be done. Hearing should be done. What does Srila Prabhupada say? Hearing should be done submissively. What does that mean? Can you just illustrate, Prabhu? Yeah, humbly. Okay, as it is told. And what does submissively? When you hear the word submissive, what does that mean to you? Just hear the message coming to you, and don't be speculative. Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. And another thing, and another thing is the hearing should be coming from a disciplic succession. This is what Srila Prabhupada tells us. It shouldn't be like, anyone stands up and tries to tell you, okay, here, you should be hearing this, you shouldn't be hearing that. It should be coming from, in the disciplic succession, from your guru, from your guru's guru, and the train goes all the way up to Sri Krishna. So it's coming from a authority. So two things our Shastras tell clearly about hearing. So we have to be mindful when we are hearing. And all of we have come to the temple today. Most of us, we can say that our spiritual journey started when we came to the temple, or we heard from a devotee a class on Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That's how our journey began. So Shravanam is one of the 9 limbs of the bhakti which Prahlad Maharaj told in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the first is Shravanam, then Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, and then 9. But Shravanam has been given the topmost position among the limbs of bhakti. So this is how important the Shravanam or the hearing is. There's a very famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shushusho Shraddadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mehat Sevaya Vipraha Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. So, through hearing, so much happens in our life, so much change comes just by hearing, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all the vices. A great service is done just by hearing, this verse tells us. And by such service, we get the affinity to hear the message of Vasudev. And when we get the affinity to hear the message of Vasudev, what happens? When you like to hear someone, what happens? You develop love with them slowly. It all starts like that. In general life as well, you hear about someone, you come to know them, and slowly a relationship is formed. So our relationship with Sri Krishna is formed through, it starts by Shravanam or hearing. And there are so many personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam who demonstrate this so nicely to us. Brahmaji. When Brahmaji appeared from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, what happened? He was bewildered that where am I? What am I here for? What's my duty? Not duty, what I'm here for basically. And then the first words he heard were, anyone knows? Tapa, tapa. And what does that mean? Austerity. So what were the first he got instructions through? Here, ears. So the one who has made all of us, all the eight, the engineer of this universe, even he had to hear the instructions to carry out his duty, and same goes for all of us as well. And another big personality, Narad Muni. Narad Muni also got instructions from Brahmaji. So you can see it's a disciplic succession already. Naradji getting from Brahmaji and Brahmaji getting from Vishnu, and it's all coming from the topmost source. It starts from there. And then Bhagavad Gita, all of we know, it was heard by Arjun and spoken by Sri Krishna. So another topmost devotee, topmost associate of Lord, and he also demonstrates to us hearing is so important. And then there is Parikshit Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam came through him. Because of him, he was the instrument. And when the kind of situation he was in, I think any of us, if we were told 7 days left, 7 days and 7 nights, and now hear about Srimad Bhagavatam day and night. He was an emperor. He was not just a king, he was an emperor. And how easily he gave up eating, drinking, his kingdom, everything. He just left everything aside just to hear the message of the Lord. So he understood the purpose of life. As you all know that he was Parikshit. He was examining everything right from the time when he was in his mother's womb and he was protected by Lord Krishna. So these exalted personalities, they haven't just come by chance. They have come into Srimad Bhagavatam for us, the jivas of this Kali Yuga, for a higher purpose. And Prabhupada says all the time, what we are looking for is look for the higher purpose in life. Look for the higher taste. And this higher taste is not, okay, there's prasadam in the temples. We get the prasadam. Many of us started our bhakti through prasadam also. But then after prasadam comes hearing. We hear the message of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. When we come to the temple, we hear the classes. And this is how our bhakti started. Most of us, we can say. And then we learn so much more as we keep coming. And how many of you will say that if you don't come to the temple for a few weeks, so say you came today, and then you had a break, a hiatus for say couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, you didn't come. How does it feel? Do you feel something's missing? Some kind of separation? Agitation, yes. Anything else, Matajis? What do you feel when you miss the temple for a few weeks? Lost. Lost in the sense you feel anxious. Yes, and what kind of thoughts go to the head when we are not here, we're missing the association? Yes. So if Krishna is not there, they say take one step to Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps. Take one step to Maya, Maya takes 100 steps. So she's there, and she's also agency of the Lord. So choice is up to us. Krishna has given us free will, like he says to Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita. So hearing is so important. So if there is some very, very important thing waiting for us in our material life, we should try to miss the temple attendance. Otherwise, as devotees, we should stay connected. Otherwise, Maya, the topmost agency of Krishna, she's there waiting for us. And she's going to take big, big steps towards us, and we don't want that. Okay, and there's Bhishma Pitama as well. He got instructions from Brihaspati about the Raj Dharma, and then there is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is a 5-year-old. He found bhakti, and he had the darshan of Bhagwan. What did he want? Dhruva Maharaj. He wanted the kingdom bigger than his grandfather, Brahmaji, because there was a little bit of, difference with his stepmother, and he just left the house. And when the Lord gave him darshan, did he accept the kingdom? Did he ask for kingdom? No. When you take the darshan of Lord, all the material desires, they just go away. And then there's Prahlad Maharaj. He's also described in Srimad Bhagavatam. As a 5-year-old, he was the one who was giving all the knowledge of Krishna, Krishna consciousness to his Gurukulis, to his students, because he also was enlightened while still he was in his mother's womb. So in his mother's womb, he was also listening. He wasn't studying or doing anything else. He was listening. And we know how famously that Prahlad Maharaj, when he had the darshan of Nrsimhadev, he was even pacifying the Lord. The others, they couldn't pacify the ugra nature of Nrsimhadev. It was Prahlad Maharaj, because he was such an exalted devotee. Even at that age, he understood Lord very clearly. He understood that this is just Lord's Leela. Lord is here for a purpose. And I would like to ask all of you if you can think of any more exalted devotees from Srimad Bhagavatam, which you have been really, inspired by, or they have really stood out for you in Srimad Bhagavatam. Narad Muni. Why?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So he represents the jivas like us.
Yeah.
Otherwise you might get the expansions of the Lord or like that. But for Narada Muni to be where he is now,
Yeah.
The role he's playing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's representing the jivas like us, that from a maid servant's son, he can achieve such a high position, being son of Lord Brahma. I mean, he was son of Lord Brahma before as well. Then he came down as a maid servant, and then he went back up again as son of Brahma. But so what he achieved from that position, that's the important thing, that we are, as he's the maid servant's son, he's like, we can compare ourselves to that, and it shows that even as a son of, you don't have to be a son of a high Brahmin or a wealthy, billionaire to achieve that position. He did it from just by hearing the sages that were coming to the house. So that really elevated him just because he listened attentively. And also Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to give a good class, then hear attentively.
Yeah.
The more attentive you hear, the better your class would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to illustrate that through this example like you've given, that when we hear attentively the message of Lord, whether it's a class of Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens is that when we go out there for book distribution, Harinam, or preaching, preaching to anyone, preaching to your colleagues or your or anyone you meet in the street who is interested to know, for example, they saw your tilak or your dress or some kanti mala, they're just curious. The supermarket tills, because I've had this experience many times. I've seen this, what's this? And I say, voila, now I'm going to spend good 10 minutes here, the queue is going to build up. Then I always say, okay, I'll come back when you're free and we'll have a chat, and always get some. Now it's online shopping, after COVID. But before, I used to carry books with me in my bag, in the car, that now I'm going to tell you something. Well, you're interested or not, that's up to Krishna, but I will do my bit. So, when you have heard nicely, what's the result of that hearing? Like Prabhu just told, Narayan Keshav Prabhu said, when you've heard nicely, it helps you to say the words of Shri Krishna with more conviction. Because you have got rid of all your doubts which you had about this movement, about this Krishna consciousness movement. So when you are clear of doubts, you are able to give the message as it is with more conviction. What makes a good preacher? A good listener makes a good preacher. In the mundane world as well, don't you agree, everyone, that if you hear gossip, you are the messenger of the gossips? You'll have lots of friends then. Any party you go, anywhere you go, you'll have lots of persons, either your well-wishers or vice versa, because you are indulging in that. But in the spirituality, if you are hearing nicely, that makes you good preachers. And in our movement, in our temple as well, there's no dearth of good preachers. Everyone is a preacher, everybody is a Shiksha Guru at their own level. Everybody has got something to give to others, and Krishna has given us one or other skill which we can use for propagating the Krishna consciousness. So now we move on to the next slide, please. Okay. So one thing we have established so far, that association is very, very important. In outside word also we say, a man is known by the company he keeps. So if we are hearing about the message of Krishna, our consciousness is more surrounded with the message of Krishna. And if we are not hearing the message of Krishna, we have got our own agendas, we have got our own goals. This is how it goes. So association is very, very important, and the real progress in Krishna consciousness in Canto 11, it is said that it is achieved by serving and hearing from those who have no connection to material activities. That means the pure devotees. Like we were hearing a few days ago, I think it's in one of the classes I was attending. Yeah, when we hear the class from, our Grahastha devotees or anyone, it has a different impact on us. But when we hear the same class given by a sannyasi, it is another level. And that has got a lot of hearing done by that sannyasi or Maharaj, and they have actually lived what they have heard. So they are able to transmit that knowledge to us with more conviction, and it through our ears it goes into our heart easily, and it has more impact on us. And in Canto 3 it says that association with devotees means the real association. What is the real association? Association with the devotees. And this is one activity which is very, very pleasing to the Lord. When we are associating with the devotees, when we are doing the Krishna Katha, when we are even clearing our doubts about our life through the Krishna Katha, I think Krishna is very pleased, because we are clearing our mundane problems through the Krishna Katha. So Krishna is very, and at the moment, what do you think the deities are doing? They are very happy, because all of us were doing kirtan earlier on, which is glorifying Lord. We were glorifying Lord, and now we are trying to understand something, which is another activity very dear to Lord, which is hearing about devotees. So Krishna Katha, whenever there is Krishna Katha going on, whenever there is kirtan going on, they say all the demigods are there, present, and the deities. Don't just think that they just stood there nicely decorated and just enjoying the Ekadashi or waiting for the Ekadashi Bhoga. No, all their attention is towards us as well. They're very intently watching each one of us, and we don't have to go too far. We have got Paramatma in our hearts who is watching our activities. Okay, now we can go to the next slide, please. And like we were talking in the beginning, that Srila Prabhupada is always commenting in his purports about the importance of hearing as well. In one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says that therefore all the men should take advantage of hearing from realized souls and gradually become able to understand the message of Lord Krishna. And it has to be done without any mental speculation. That understand, listen, take the message as it is first, and then afterwards, if you've got some doubts, you clear those doubts from the devotee of the Lord. And in all his books, this message has been stressed, the importance of hearing. Now, hearing the Krishna Katha, another thing happens. Anyone? When we hear the Krishna Katha, what happens? Yes, we develop the love for Krishna. At the moment, we are, among the three modes of nature during the day and night. We are, transcending between three modes of nature. So when we are hearing the Krishna Katha, what happens? We all are at least coming to, when we start our bhakti, we have to be in Sattva-gun. And then his disciples used to ask, Srila Prabhupada's disciples used to ask him that, Srila Prabhupada, how can we achieve the Shuddha Nam? And Prabhupada used to say, with a click of a finger. So once we have come to the Shuddha goodness, mode of goodness, Sattva-gun, our bhakti begins from there. So at least that's the least, requirement to start the bhakti. You can't say that you are going to be enjoying everything out there, you have no rules and regulations, and your bhakti can start. Bhakti doesn't start like that. For that, we have to be on the mode of goodness. But when we start to hear the Hari Katha intently, when we start to, go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita, when we have been through it few times, we have heard many classes, when we understand how many chapters are there and what was Krishna and Arjun talking all about. They were not just, having a nice chit-chat. They were talking about all the important things which we as Kali Yuga people were going to face in our lives. So that's why it's a manual, as you've heard in all the classes. So hearing is very important. Hearing about Krishna transcends the three modes of nature. At least, when we are reading or, hearing any class or reading, I'll go back to hearing only because the topic is hearing in this one. So when we are hearing, straight after hearing that particular class, how do we feel generally? Generally, we feel very uplifted. They feel all... if we have read, say, about Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, at that point, we start to imagine Prahlad Maharaj and how he was a little boy. It has a profound effect on us. So that shows that we have done this bhakti many, many times. This is not something new for us in this life. We have been through that, and it really has an impact on us. So hearing is so important. And we all in Kali Yuga, we are the jivas of Kali Yuga, you all know. And Kali Yuga has got so many bad points. Like it says that Kale Dosho Nidhi Rajan. It's got so many bad qualities, but it has got one good quality. Kali Yuga has got one good quality. Which one is that? Can you just tell me? Yes. Kirtanam. Kirtan is there. Mahamantra is there. So, In early yugas, they had to work really, really hard to achieve which we can achieve just by chanting Hare Krishna. But we are the weakest of all the jivas in all the yugas. So we have to work a little bit hard. But still Prabhupada made us so easy for us. He says, just hear what you're chanting. The Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what is happening here? We're saying, our ears are, it's going through our ears to our heart. Modern science won't agree, but our shastras and our acharya says, these vibrations are going straight to our heart and they are cleansing our heart, which have been conditioned after birth, coming as jivas. So, yeah. So we have to develop the urge to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Not just about Lord, but about His exalted devotees as well. And now we were talking about what we should hear. We've been talking most of the time till now what we should hear. Now what we should not hear. You're all devotees here, so you can say with your experience what we should not hear. Prabhuji has said we should not hear any ninda. You understand ninda, all of you? Hmm? No backbiting, no gossiping. Hmm? And why is that? Why we shouldn't hear ninda of anyone being spoken? You get bad karma, yes.
So you get that person that you're talking about, their bad karma goes to you.
Okay, so that person's bad quality is going to be coming to you. And you are actually helping that person to clear their karma. But that bad all that bad is going to come to you. And why do we forget that there's Paramatma in me, in my heart. Similarly, Paramatma is in everyone. So when we're criticizing the person's bad habits, we are not thinking that just the habits. We are criticizing the person as a whole. So is that making Bhagwan happy? No. So we should dislike the bad habits, bad traits, but not the person. It's hard to do, but the more we hear about Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we understand how our conduct should be in this life.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
This I was listening about just remembering the Paramatma in the heart. It does two things, if you can remember Paramatma in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
First, it gives you satisfaction about yourself, and it gives you respect for others.
Yeah.
Satisfaction because whatever's happening in your life, you know the Paramatma is there with you.
Yeah.
So what is everything's being controlled, it's under control. Paramatma is there, he's watching, right? So you just have to go through this process. So you don't not to be afraid. Paramatma is there,
Yeah.
and just ride through this storm. And respect others means the Paramatma is also in their heart. So whether you understand someone, or you have differences, or you don't like the way they speak to you, whatever, you can agree to disagree, but you don't have to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because the Paramatma is also in them. Just remember that they're also a temple, you are a temple, the God resides. So that way you can have respect for others while you may not agree with them. You can you can maintain a respectful distance as well. It doesn't mean that because Paramatma is in the heart, you have to associate with them.
Yeah.
You can maintain a respectful distance
Yeah.
with people. So respect should always be there. Whatever you do, respect should always be there. Even if it's just Hare Krishna, respectfully, just do that. You don't have to converse with them. So remembering Paramatma in the heart, very, very important. Hare Krishna.
So Srimad Bhagavatam tells us that hearing Krishna Katha, hearing the Hari Katha, in the association of the pure devotees, or in the association of the devotees, because we don't know who is pure devotee. We just hope that when we are associating, there are devotees who are going to that path. going to be becoming pure devotees very soon, or they are already pure devotees. We don't know from their outer, demeanor. We don't know. So it has got a transformative effect. Hearing the Krishna Katha, the Hari Katha, Bhagavatam says that in such association, it fosters faith, devotion in us. And what happens is when you hear the Hari Katha from pure devotees, that pure devotee is going to have effect on you. First of all, you'll be thinking that how come they have got so much, solid, pakka knowledge about Krishna, and how they're able to convince that to me. It just like when, for example, the youngsters, they all like Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj these days. And when you hear Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, he is speaking about the contemporary issues. He knows his preaching is more about the contemporary, what's going on, what are the difficulties the youngsters are facing, and they are very easy to, they're very happy to approach Maharaj with their problems. He has got these Instagram sessions once a month, and all these things going. And nowadays, people have got so much short attention span that they can't hear the full lecture. What they're hearing is shorts, reels, 30 seconds, 1 minute. I think it's also Krishna's arrangement. Krishna says, I'm not going to pile up with too much difficulty, because you guys have, with the advent of smartphones, you have become more smart. You need shorts, just the condensed message that's coming. That's wonderful. Hear 10 shots in the day, but note the message, what's coming from you. Because even if we are not noticing that what we are surfing or hearing, the AI, it takes good note. When you ask Alexa something, Alexa presents you the similar bhajan or song instantly. So the algorithm is very smart. If you are asking for certain topic in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is going to present you more and more of the same topic in the day or the day after. So when we hear from the pure devotees and about pure devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens is the good qualities of those Vaishnavas, whether they are the exalted Vaishnavas in Srimad Bhagavatam, they start inculcating in us slowly. And what are those qualities which we are looking for? Humility. Parikshit Maharaj, when we hear about him, such a humble devotee that he's been told, you've got 7 days left, and he just gives up everything. So the quality of humility, and then yes. Anything else? Compassion. Can you illustrate how would you say that the compassion comes? Yes. So we should have, they are going to give us the qualities of compassion, humility, truthfulness, mercy. Yes, mercy. And anything else? Satisfaction. They teach us how to be satisfied in life, content with what we have. It's okay, we'll carry on. Right. So these qualities, are they very common in the world out there we are living? You think the qualities we have talked about, compassion, mercy, are they very common out there in the real world? They are rare qualities. Only rarely these qualities are exhibited by certain people in certain circumstances. Open any newspaper, open any channel, any news channel, what happens is all the negative. And there's nothing of this. And I'm sure if anybody was to show these qualities, they would be getting a Nobel Peace Prize. But world out there is completely different. So the kind of world we are in dire need for the association of the pure devotees. We have to hear about the Lord, hear about the devotees, how they did the bhakti, and when they did the bhakti, what did they get by doing the bhakti. Okay, now we can move to the next slide, please. So for example, we have been coming to the temple for a long time, or we've been hearing the message of Lord Krishna from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the biggest message coming out from Srimad Bhagavad Gita? What does Lord wants from us?
I would say surrender.
Surrender, yes. And what else he wants from us? Okay, we've heard about Bhagavad Gita. We heard about his message. Now, what does he want?
We think of him regularly.
And
We worship him.
yes.
Devotee.
Yes, become his devotee and make more devotees. Pass his message to others. This is what he wants. And if we are not hearing, are we going to be able to do that? No. So can anyone, because most of you have been coming here for a long time, could you just tell by your experience that how it helped you, because you've been hearing the Lord's message nicely with the good intent, how it has helped you in preaching to the contemporary society?
So when I came here, so what happened initially that in terms of preaching, like first of all, the association which I had, of course, the viewpoint from my family members was different. And initially when I was there, I was merging with them and whatever they say. And then after that, after hearing the katha and reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, so the viewpoint changed.
Okay.
And it's a kind of I started thinking they are not wrong, but my path is different. So that thought process came in my mind. So and then when I used to speak with others, always there was something else to talk, not about the Krishna, something here and there, gossips. But after that, always, if I speak with them, then of course it's about the Krishna. And if I don't speak, then I don't speak. So it's all about I just wanted to help them. After coming here, from my heart inside it came he's also a soul, and I am also a soul, and he's just bewildered. Even I am bewildered, but I am on that path, so I can help him. So that's how I started helping others. And not in an argument way, but if they really want to follow, then I just wanted to help them.
Okay.
So just by association with the senior devotees, Haridas Prabhu and everybody. So that's the message I've got from my side.
So it all started from hearing and association, yeah? Brilliant. Anybody else would like to add?
Worldly people, sometimes they're against devotees.
Yeah.
But after many years, they see what we do, where we go, things like that. And then they come to realize that we are in the right place. In the beginning, they say, oh, what are you doing? You're always in the temple and like this. But now, as they're getting old, time badal raha hai, world is not a good place. So now they know, oh, hum sahi jagah par hai. So I have noticed that.
So basically you're saying, Mataji, that when they see you living the life,
Yes.
you are learning from Srimad Bhagavad
Yeah.
Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, with the association of the devotees, that has got more impact on them.
Yeah, but even a near and dearer ones, they see it. That, oh, look what they do, where they're going, what they're saying. They watch everything and they know we are on the right path. and they're not on the right path.
So, like
So-
Mataji is saying, sometimes not speaking directly, but showing, being the live role model has got more impact, especially on your family members. I've seen, don't try to preach your family members, just your good behavior or the way you are carrying yourself out in life, that has got more impact on them. Because otherwise you will see that most of the time when you become a devotee in the beginning, they find out about your rules and regulations. What's the first thing they say? You can do this when you grow old. Grow old means to them, when you're that old that you'll be needing help, to carry about yourself. So this is how much people have got, a wrong notion about bhakti. That bhakti is only for the senior people.
They
Bhakti
even
is for
say,
everyone.
do you still go to the temple?
Yeah.
Many people around,
Yeah.
Relatives, friends, our normal temples like Sanatan Mandirs, they always say when I first meet, oh, do you still go to your temple?
Mhm.
So it's like they're checking and they know that we are doing the right thing.
So they're curious, basically, what goes on in this temple. So anybody else would like to say anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thanks for this. I would like to share our experience
Okay.
when we started a temple. So we recently moved like 4 years here. So near to our society, first of all, they are not aware about our temple, correct? When we started and when we invited our temple devotees, senior devotees, our home. Yeah. So the kirtan, the process to worship the God,
Yeah.
our bhoga which we offer to Lord,
Mhm.
they are also slowly excited.
Wow.
They want to understand, okay?
Haribol.
Now also, when they join us at our home and evening when we will do the prayer,
Yeah.
then they ask first thing, are you doing the prayer on daily? Oh, is it? So like maybe at their home also, maybe their mothers, their grandmothers, they are also doing the same. But now due to our daily routine life and something, look like we missed it. And when someone is doing that thing, they will, oh wow, are you making daily? It is like our daily life, if it is a simple thing. Now what we learn here from a temple, whatever we are making at home, if you will make in a proper way,
Yeah.
you can offer to God. Whether we are making a pizza or we are making something, you have to make sure that it is pure, so you can offer to God. Before coming to the temple, we are also eating so many things like our pyaj, lasan, everything, but realize we can't offer.
Yeah.
So how we offer at home? Whenever the particular day. Okay, example, Janmashtami, then only you are making. But now we changed. How
Every
we
day.
are making? We are making like first we offer and then we eat. So it is now slowly daily. You can't say that it will change in a 1 day, 2 day or a year or month. It takes time. So the association with our devotees hearing, it's change basically. So that we feel, and now our friends is also understand slowly. So it depends. Like it is not everyone will come and do in that way, but at least slowly they understood and then they will do in that way. So that
Like
is
they say, when we go to Vrindavan or any dham, it's by invitation. It's not that you're buying the
Yeah,
ticket,
yeah.
you're getting your passport or visa stamped. It's not that. It's Krishna's. And then we go there and bow down to Gopeshwar Mahadev in Vrindavan and always Shiva in every dham. We do that. Why? Because that is the real stamp. Shiva is going to, Mahadev is going to give the real stamp that yes, Krishna, your chosen one has come. Now make their yatra safal. That's what we ask for, isn't it? So who becomes the doer? We read in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the controller, Krishna is a doer. But when we start to understand Bhagavad Gita in the association of the devotees, those 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, they have got real impact on our lives. And as you say, we can see in our daily life that Krishna has come, Krishna has entered. And you become like a preacher, isn't it, to your neighbors. Whenever there's a shank going on in a house in the morning, I'm sure our neighbors think, baj gaye. And in the evening also. And in my case, what I do is when I pick up the offered flowers, I used to pile them up in the past. But now what I do is I say, the mercy is there, the flowers, the plants outside should get it today. Why wait for tomorrow? I'll just open the window and throwing shots at the grass and your turn, your turn. This is my game every day. So I'm sure my neighbors through the CCTV, they have noticed this. That something goes on in her house. And in the beginning, I used to be shy. I said to Prabhu, "Dheere bajao, don't. But now we just have the competition. Should be louder and louder, like Jiva Jago. So actually, all of us as devotees, we are helping Lord in His mission. And Krishna is waiting for all of us.
One last thing, Mataji, I want to
Yes,
say,
Prabhu,
like,
sure.
just by coming, it didn't change much in me, but after hearing Srila Prabhupada regularly, it really changed, like the purpose of the life,
Yeah.
why we are here, what we should do, what our daily actions. So hearing Prabhupada ji and making notes of it with the help of Haridas Prabhuji really changed it a lot in last 1 year. Yeah.
In just last 1 year. And you've been coming here for
3 years.
3 years. And you feel that every month, Ekadashi to Ekadashi, if you take note of your advancement, you think that you've learned something.
Yeah, it's increasing.
I remember when we started to come here, Prabhu and Arupana Mataji didn't used to sing much. But now, they can sing. They've sung in the Rath Yatra as well. So, you had the skill, but who has empowered you now? The Lord. So, I think we can go on and on about the kripa which comes to our lives when we come to the temple, when we start hearing. But everything starts through hearing. These two senses are always open. And they say when we leave this world, these senses are still active. We might lose the consciousness, but hearing is still there. That's why the mantra is said to the devotees, by the devotees, kirtan is done. There's like they say in the world out there, there's method to madness. There's a science behind it. The modern science might not agree with whatever we are discussing. They might say, you hear and it goes to your heart. But it happens like that. That's how it is. Our acharyas are the proof about these things. And now we're talking about the preaching to the society. It has to be done in a contemporary way. We just can't give big examples from Srimad Bhagavatam, which people will be like, what does that mean? Devahuti was taken on a, for the flying trip, and by Kartam Muni, they'll say, what's all this? You have to understand the person opposite to you, what they're ready for, and you have to devise your preaching according to their needs. It has to be in a very palatable form. Don't expect that the person you are going out there for Harinam or for preaching, that you give them the best of the best, which you actually, it took you time also to understand. We didn't started to believe Srimad. How many of us, we can say that we came to a temple and we started to read the Srimad Bhagavatam very next month or very next week? No. We were on Srimad Bhagavad Gita for a long time. When we had actually relished the importance of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then only we graduated to Srimad Bhagavatam. So hearing is very, very important, and hearing about Lord and about His devotees is paramount for our bhakti. And what happens when we hear about Bhagwan or Bhagwan's devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam? What happens? The 3 things happen. You have heard in many classes. I'm sure Haridas Prabhuji and Vidur Prabhuji have told you all this. 3 things happen. There's a speaker, there's a listener, and there's atmosphere. So what happens to these 3 things? I've given the clue. Yes, who is cleansed? The one who is speaking, he is purified anyway, and the one who is hearing, they're also getting. And what about the atmosphere around? It is also getting purified. So, what do you call it? Win-win situation or not? We hear the prajalpa out there, or even at home, sometimes you do feel like, especially, the Matajis, they had a bad day with some phone call came from relative or friend. They want, including me, I'm trying to get better, but still I'm not quite there. We want to, just blurt it out. But when you start reading Srimad Bhagavatam, when you start attending the sanghas of Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens? You've read something, and end of the day you want to discuss your doubts, or you want to talk to your friends, your other devotees who have called you, or you're meeting them. You don't want to talk about nonsense. Okay, there's some very important issues of life. You'll talk a little bit about that, but then again Krishna will come in. Like I've been coming here. We've been coming here for some time. We've seen that when we come here, Prabhuji and Mataji's, they will not talk about anything. Okay, some issue, okay, temple needs this painting done, that thing. They'll say a little bit, and then Krishna is going to come. This festival is coming. This program is coming. We're going to do this for the deities, this for the lordships. So your consciousness gets elevated when you're in good association. What you hear, you will hear anyway. The ears will work all the time. But when we are in good association, whether it's once a week or once in 2 weeks, or how much or how less you're getting the association, is going to have a very profound effect on you. So Srimad Bhagavatam has got a beautiful verse about this. It says, Bhidyate hridaya granthish chidyante sarva samshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishta atma nishvare. So hearing about Srimad Bhagavatam has this effect. It's going to cut the knots of your heart, take away all your doubts, and it's going to help you to become self-realized. So the message coming from Srimad Bhagavatam is so very important. And the very famous verse which we always do when we do the Srimad Bhagavatam, I bet many of you know. If you know, please repeat with me. So just say with me, Nashta prayeshva abhadreshu nistam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. So anyone would like to tell the meaning of this verse? But Prabhuji knows. Anybody else would like to have a go? Prabhuji, mic. Prabhuji, change the slide, please. Yeah. And the next. Yeah.
Obviously, as the Prabhuji said, we don't know word to word, but we can say basic meanings of the Nashta prayeshu abhadrasha. Abhadrasha means the bad things in our heart.
Sitting in our heart, yes.
That's destroy.
Yeah.
Nashta prashu abhadrashu nityam bhagavata. So we should, we should read Bhagavatam every day. Nityam means every day.
So, can you just expand for others? What is Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya again properly?
Nityam Bhagavatam Seva, as Srila Prabhupada gave us very good schedule. If we see in the every ISKCON temple, there is in the Srimad Bhagavatam, after Guru Puja, in the every temple, after Guru Puja, every ISKCON temple, there is a Bhagavatam class. And Srila Prabhupada especially order or request every single devotee should attend Srimad Bhagavatam class. And if you can't attend in temple, even you can read at your home actually. Few verse, few text, you can read it.
And if you can't even read or hear, you're so busy,
you can listen
to the YouTube lectures.
YouTube, or if I have seen in Vrindavan, they arrange the radio system, FM system.
Yes.
If you are going somewhere, you can listen the katha through the FM actually. So that's the Nityam Bhagavatam. Sevaya. Yeah, so there are two types of Bhagavatam.
Yes.
One is Parsan Bhagavat, one is Grantha Bhagavat. So Grantha Bhagavat, obviously Srimad Bhagavatam, then Parsan Bhagavat is an advanced devotee, like Srila Prabhupada or Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
So should serve them. And the serve them means not only associate with them, So serve them means the follow the instruction from them,
Instruction. That is very
especially
important.
from Gurudev.
That is very
Like
important.
when we read 10 offenses, so third offense is the disobey the orders of the spiritual master. We should never do that. So when you follow the instruction from Guru or senior devotees, basically we serving a person Bhagavata.
Yes.
Bhagavata. Nityan seva, nitya, every day.
Every day.
Not just for...
And it can be little as 15 minutes. It's
Yeah.
fine. But do something. So just imagine, Prabhuji was telling us yesterday, how many verses in Srimad Bhagavatam you were saying? Chapters?
It's a 365.
365 chapters, he says. So we were just... no, one has got so many shlokas. So only we need a spiritual master to make us understand one chapter a day. So how many years we were saying it on an average to go through all the verses? 15 years if we go verse by verse. And if we don't have these purports or classes by the exalted devotees, I think we have got no chance. We'll just look at the Sanskrit, look at the word-to-word meaning, and then say, okay, we've done enough for the day. So we need the help of the spiritual master. Who is next to Krishna available for us as devotees on this earth? After Krishna, who is the very important person for us as the spiritual master? And which festival is coming up this week? And who is the Adi Guru? So we have to pray to Balramji that please make our urge to hear the message of Bhagwan and Bhagwan's devotee more and more urgent to us. We have to have the urgency. At the moment, what urgency we have? For the ladies, what's the latest fashion? Yeah? Well, Mataji's hair are different, but out there we know it's latest fashion. Or what's the latest trend in cooking? But we follow the trend, but we don't follow either at the same time, because we have got specific ingredients to cook with. So who is our guiding light when we become devotees? It's Krishna and spiritual master. Krishna is not going to tell us what he likes and dislikes. It's the spiritual master. He tells us when he gives us the diksha, when we take the vows. We'll follow those 4 regulations. So now, next slide please, Prabhu. Okay. Now I'll come to the interesting part. Now, how hearing changes us. We have discussed this before as well. But now, like we're coming towards the end. Again, if any of you would like to say how coming to the temple, hearing about the devotees, about Krishna and following the rules and regulations has changed your life. Anybody would like to say anything? You want to say something, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Jai Sachinatanta Chand Ki Jai. Coming to the temple, this association, it goes along the lines of what many other devotees have mentioned, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. So I have discovered a much more deeper purpose of life, the meaning. Why are we here? Why are we doing all this? So initially coming to the temple, I would think that, oh, okay, we're just doing some deity service, we're just doing some singing, it's all very glorious. But over time, as you go more and more into it, you start to compel a more profound meaning to it, and how it actually feeds more than our senses and our subtle body, but it feeds our soul, which is our Atman, profoundly, which is what it's been seeking for lifetimes and lifetimes. So this is what I've learned, and I had a much better understanding of the purpose of life, and with that as well, a lot of opportunities for seva in terms of serving the Lordship, and how little things that we can do that are actually to help Him, to preach about Him, to do more things for Him. And then you start to connect one by one, and then you realize that, oh, everything is for Him at the end of the day. So that's what I'd say.
And you, like you're saying that you have understood how to deal with your Mundane
desires, exactly. So initially you have attachment towards worldly things, and yes, adding to that, detachment starts to slowly arise to a point where all you want to do, all you want to associate, like we've all spoken, is more around devotees, hear more about Krishna, do more for Krishna, and continue doing for him.
That's brilliant. And Prabhuji, next slide, please. So hearing also fulfills the first two purposes of Prabhupada's. We have got 7 purposes of ISKCON. If you don't know them, you can Google them when you go home later on. The first 2 purposes are also served by hearing. The first purpose brings in the relevance of hearing to the movement. Like Prabhupada stresses that we should hear about the sampradaya. Because when you go to the doctor, you get different prescription for different problems. Doctor is not going to give you the same prescription for every problem. So different sampradayas have got a little bit different way about how to reach Bhagwan. Some have got affinity towards Radharani's name. Some have got a different way of doing the, like we have got 16 rounds, they have got something different. So Prabhupada stresses that because in this moment, unless we are so exalted that we have understood everything, each and every book of Srila Prabhupada, okay, then we can read others, and because we have understood what's the message of Prabhupada and what's Prabhupada telling us. So we don't want to keep our feet on 2 boats, this one and that one, on two sampradayas. We're hearing 2 sampradayas simultaneously. Because we are all madhyamadhikaris, most of us. Doing the anartha nivritti, still learning, most kanishtha. Yeah, we should think that we are kanishtha, hoping to be madhyam one day. I think Prabhuji is teaching us that be humble. Humility is the first lesson. So, yeah. But what was I saying? I've just forgot.
Listening about others.
Yeah. So first, Prabhupada's mood and mission is also seen here in the hearing. That the first purpose of ISKCON, relevance of hearing to the movement. And the second purpose, it helps people to come to the spiritual platform and the actions align with the will of the Supreme Lord. So when we're hearing right, what we are doing, we're preaching also the right message, and we're making more devotees. First we become devotees, then we make more devotees. And what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants? That and does he want that we should go by ourselves only to the spiritual world to serve Mahaprabhu? Or does he want ki puri army hai Sankirtan party ki? What does he want? We want that we should not just go by ourselves, we should take many, many devotees along with us. So the 2 purposes of ISKCON are also fulfilled by good hearing. And the last one, please, Prabhu. Last slide. Now to conclude, hearing is the start of bhakti, as we have all seen. For most of us, we heard the kirtan, we heard the katha, or we heard a class or something about Krishna, and that pulled us towards this movement. And now, as we can see, we are all engaging in bhakti at our own level. We are all trying, endeavoring. And another verse, very famous verse, Krishne swadhamo pagate dharma janadibhi saha kalau nashta drisham esha purnarko dhunoditaha. So Bhagavatam is also known as brilliant as the sun. After Krishna went, what was left behind by Krishna? Shrad Bhagavatam. It was for all of us, so that we can become Krishna conscious. And another thing, we were talking, because we are concluding now, we were saying that we should hear from a bona fide spiritual master. We should hear submissively, with good intent. And hearing is something which we need throughout our lives. It's not that we heard something yesterday in the class and that's it. That's enough for the rest of the month. No. Maya is out there, like we say. One step out there, Maya is ready to grab us, all of us. And we don't want that. We need the kavach, we need the shield. And this, the message of the Lord from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it acts as a shield for all of us. And we also established that good preaching will come from good hearing. And once you have done hearing, what you need to do, lastly, I would like to know from all of you. Before tell others, what do? You've heard something really good. You have to think about it, contemplate, manana. That is important. It's not that I heard eating sugar is bad. I will start telling everyone eating sugar is bad. I should know why it is bad. And then after you've done the contemplation, what's the next thing you have to do? Act, yes, apply on yourself. Nididhyasanam. So, hearing is not that simple, as we've established today. From hearing comes contemplation. We have to change ourselves. We have to be the change so that we can have impact on others. We can make more people coming to the path of Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much for hearing me out today. And if there's anything you would like to ask, please do. Any comments, any corrections? There's no silly question.
Any reason that why you're keep on saying about hearing, not listening? Because hearing is more of a physical activity, but listening is a more of a cognitive process of focus, understanding, and contemplating thing, which you explained at the end part. So I just wanted to understand, like, why you keep on saying about hearing, not listening.
Well, Prabhu, you have answered your own question in your answer. You've defined it. It's a cognitive process. Listening is just casual. You just heard, sun liya. But when you're hearing, जब आप properly सुनना चाहते हो कुछ तो बैठोगे, दिमाग लगाओगे, है ना? You will sit down. You will have your senses focused. I was listening to the song. Then you say, no, I was hearing this album. There's a difference. Because the intent and your the focus is different between two. And you will see throughout the purports, you will not read much about listening from Srila Prabhupada. It's always hearing. Hearing, he will say. Like you said yourself, I don't know what you do for living, but you have described it, cognitive. Look, so you have you have given the definition. And cognition means, you can define that for others, please?
Yeah, focus, understand, apply.
Yes, yes. So we don't have to take it so lightly. We have to be focused and do it with intent.
No, if you're following on from this. Yeah.
I think for many people, the difficult, you got to give the mic on YouTube. So I think the reason why hearing rather than listening is emphasized so much, I understand the distinction that you made. It's because even for someone to have the propensity to want to hear katha is in itself a process. Because think about it now, in the olden days, to hear a katha, there was no phones or cassettes or LPs or anything. So to want to listen, to hear someone speak, you actually physically had to go to a katha. You had to find some sadhu and then sit and basically listen to his katha. So the desire to even hear, first of all, whether or not the cognitive process involved, where it comes out here, goes out there, just the desire to hear at the start requires even a level of sukriti. And that's why they say that the people that do Bhagavad Kathas, many times they say, even the people that are listening today, even if you're not taking it in, the very fact that you wanted to come today and hear the Katha is in itself evidence of your good fortune. Because otherwise the desire to hear doesn't even manifest.
So it's like everyone, let's say, is hungry, okay? But if you're not sitting at the feast, you can't eat. So this is the thing. So that here, even nowadays, if you think about it, we can access any types of katha now we want to because we've got internet. But how many people regularly every day listen to classes? If I'd ask in the room, how many people every day listen to a class? It's still very few, even out of the whole room. So you can see hearing is emphasized because at least if you sit down to hear, something will go in. Something will go in, because if you're not even trying to hear, the rest of the process won't happen. So that's why just giving, it is called giving or oral, AURAL, reception
Yes.
to the message, meaning allowing your ear to hear the message. Many times, even when people are ill or they're in comas or something like that, people would read Bhagavad Gita to them. And the doctors will say, oh, well, they can't understand everything, but they can hear it. And that hearing, then the soul understands. So this hearing faculty is actually the last thing to go, even when you're dying. All the other senses shut down, but the hearing still carries on. So giving your ears a chance to hear the message of the Lord is the first real step. Because obviously when you come and sit in, whether you're paying attention, whether you're looking at a little baby, like I've been doing a couple of times in this, you do get distracted. But the fact that I'm sitting in the class, something went in.
Yeah.
Something is. So hearing is emphasized in that way because there's a desire process that goes on before that, so you get to the point of doing that. When you're sitting there, then it's how good is the speaker? How qualified is the person sitting there? How is the message delivered? Like Mataji said, when sannyasis are there, they deliver it in a particular way where everyone, and like with some of the speakers we've had coming recently, they deliver so dynamically that you can't help but listen and take it in. So the first thing is everyone should be eager to hear. That's the thing. That eagerness to hear is the first thing. And when the eagerness is there, you'll do something. Many people actually don't want to hear. They actually say, well, if I hear, all I'm going to do is people telling me I should do this, I should do that, or telling me off that I'm bad. So people say, better that I don't hear. I'll just keep chanting, and if I don't if I don't hear anyone, then I think I'm doing okay. Yeah. You know? And Srila Prabhupada, well, Guru Maharaj said this very nicely, ignorance is no excuse. Guru Maharaj said, so listen. And there's a saying my Guru Maharaj used to say, hold on. This is from, I think, Guru Granth Sahib. It's when something like, oh God, I forgot the start of it now. Something Hari Katha, Te Bina Mohana Bhag, Moh Jaya Bina Ramapad, Karina Drid Anurag. That without listening to Hari Katha, you don't actually yeah, it's from Tulsidas, Guru Maharaj, I can't remember the beginning bit of it. And it's saying that unless you actually listen to Hari Katha, you don't get that actual sukriti to destroy the attachment, the more of the world. Okay. So even just by listening, the attachment to the world starts to become reduced. So this is why giving that oral reception, that hearing is important. Even sometimes when they don't understand. There's been classes where the speaker's giving it in Hindi and there'll be an English person sitting. They don't even understand Hindi at all. But the odd word here and there, Krishna, they'll hear and they'll say, wonderful class, because it's gone in and the message will have done something inside. So I hope that.
Hare Krishna, thank you for that class. Several points have come out to me. First of all, to me, hearing and cognitive listening, to me, in the spiritual sense, in the spiritual books, that is the same. When they talk about hearing, they're talking about attentive hearing, not deaf hearing. Because nowadays, a lot of, as a Guru said, there's a lot of turning a deaf ear to what's in a satsang. It's very strong in this day and age. Prabhupada should be glorified for his hearing potency. Because his Guru Maharaj marked him. He said, I marked him. He likes to listen. Prabhupada would sit in his classes of Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, even when he couldn't understand, because it was very elevated classes by Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. Prabhupada would just continue listening. Continue listening, because he would love to be in the association of a Mahanta like Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. And I remember that he said, I have marked him, he likes to listen. And then Prabhupada did what he did afterwards. The thing about listening, hearing, is the type of listening, hearing you are doing. It is very important. It's not like something automatically happens to you. It's you inside. What's happening to you? How are you approaching the hearing process? Morare Bapu, who's for many years been doing kathas on Lord Ram, he said, in kathas, hajaro bethtade hai. Hajaro come to hear my kathas. But katha kuch mein bethta hai. हजारों कथा में बैठते हैं तो कुछ में कथा बैठती है.
It's all he's
Yeah,
just
it's
talking
how
about
are
this.
you listening? Yeah, how are you listening? So, and Gosai Ji, he said, three types of listening. He says one goes in here, out there. That's useless because you haven't heard anything. It's completely bypassed. Second one goes in here and it goes into the mind. And there a lot of speculation starts happening. A lot of speculating. You make your own thoughts up. But the best is when it goes in here, it goes into here, into the heart. And that is how Lord Brahma became self-realized, because that original Vedic knowledge, the Gayatri, came from the spiritual world via Krishna's flute, entered the 8 ear holes of Lord Brahma, went into the heart, and then Brahma became self-realized. So it's very important, how are you listening? That's the important point.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Very good. So today was all about preaching. Please, another round of applause for lovely presentation.
Thank you.
And main thing is, in ISKCON temples, we should have a missionary spirit. It's not like, many times I say, it's not like other temples. Other temples, they come to just do upasana, worship. I either offer milk to the Shivling, put some money in, get blessings. That's it. They don't want to hear anything. Just come and go. But in ISKCON, Prabhupada made sure that first you learn and then you preach. So today's class was all about what are you going to preach? But you don't want to sort of preach mental speculation. You haven't understood the Siddhanta and everything. So that was very good. Yesterday was very good. We had a satsang, at Puran Prakash's house, and he invited some of the staff who work at hospital, and they had some realizations. So we presented beautifully the Siddhanta about our identity, who we are, to keep it basic like that. It's nice to go to a satsang where new people. So there like he said, Yare dekho tare kaha Krishna upadesh. We should give Krishna upadesh. We think we must tell them about Krishna. But everything belongs to Krishna. So even if you talk Krishna's Maya, it's connected with Krishna. In the beginning, you address the Maya situation. So then we started to talk about the identity, then the importance of Maha Mantra. And then Guru Sevak took the platform. And he really, really, what he did at the university preaching, he just went for it. It was brilliant. And then he goes, has anybody experienced outer body experience, near-death experience? And one of the guests says, I have. And Guru said, come over and tell them what she said, which kind of blew our socks. We thought, whatever we discussed, that when you got out of the body, she said that's what happened to her. But she hadn't heard that yet, but she was telling us her experience, and he couldn't believe it. So I just wanted, while you got the captive audience, saying, we met someone who
So many times we've spoken in this temple about near-death experiences where people, once in like a coma or something like that, they'll come out of their body, they can see what's happening around them, describe events once they come back in. I was about to describe this phenomenon, and I just mentioned NDE, and one of the ladies goes, that happened to me. And I was like, okay, here's the mic. And so then she basically, there was COVID time or something like that, and she had COVID, and she went to the hospital, and she collapsed in the hallway of the hospital. She used to work there, so immediately when she collapsed, she felt a sensation as she came out of her body, and she was floating on the ceiling watching her own body. So she had a near-death experience. She could see herself, and she'd collapse, and they were putting her on like a gurney and stuff. And then for some reason, she thought about her sister who was living in America. And she said the body that she was in when she was floating, she traveled so fast, it was like faster than any plane. Within a second, she was in America, and she was watching her sister doing certain activities in the day. And she remembered all of this when she came out. And she said she rang her sister and said, on such and such a date, you were doing this, 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 this. And the sister screamed, like, how did you know? There was nobody else in the room. So she had actually seen this. So after that, she thought about her sister in UK, and she went at incredible speed. And she saw her sister, what she was doing. And she went to see her kids as well, because obviously she's a mother. Her kids were fighting and screaming, and the kids were shouting and stuff. And she said she felt like she had a guide next to her, but she couldn't see who the guide was. But the guide was just talking to her, telling, okay, come here, come there, come there. And then her father, who had passed away many years before, came before her. In Africa. So she's in UK. Her father, who had passed away years before, came there, and he said, basically when he passed away, he was in a bad condition. But she saw him as the best version of himself, fully healthy, all that kind of stuff. And she was so happy to see her father, and she was like, and she said that she felt, when she came out of the body, that the body was some unclean thing. When she's looking at her own body, she felt like this was some unclean thing, and that it was like a prison. That's how she described it. And she goes, when she was flying in the air, she felt intense happiness, just natural happiness. And she was able to do so many things that she couldn't do when she was in a body. And she was with her father, and she was like, I want to come with you. And the father said, no, you got children, you need to look after them. She's like, no, that'll be fine, don't worry. And she goes, I'm really happy now, I just want to come with you. And he was like, no. And one of her daughters was crying and screaming. And she said that crying and screaming of her daughter stopped her from going with her father. It was like putting pressure on her, so she couldn't go with the father. And the father said, okay, just go and check up on your daughter. And when she went to do that, then she felt a sensation of being pulled back into her body, because she was watching. When she went to see her own body, they were trying to resuscitate her. And as they were resuscitating, she came into the body. But the thing is, it didn't happen instantly. So they thought she's already dead. So they were wheeling her off to the morgue when she re-entered her body. And she just got up like this, and she freaked out the two guys taking her, because they thought she was dead. And they were freaked out, and she was kind of like, she was in a little bit of agony because they'd broken her ribs, I think, when doing CPR. So her ribs were hurting, so she was in, but later on, when she was sort of conscious properly again and all of that, she was just joking about the situation. And the doctor was like, you died. Like, she goes, no. She goes, death isn't what people think it is. She goes, afterwards, she goes, you're happy. You're in a completely happy state. And but before, when she was actually getting that thing, she had present life recall. So you know when people say their life flashes before their eyes, this was happening to her. She was seeing herself as a baby all the way up till now, like very, very fast, seeing the whole recall of her whole life. And then later on, she was saying that she started to be able to see all of her previous lives. So she was getting images of little babies that were all like different nationalities, and she realized these are her own lives that she is seeing. And when she asked, she was Muslim, and when she asked her own faith, like, how do you explain this? And she goes, they gave some explanation which didn't make sense to me, and they were trying to tell me, oh, this is just a hallucination, you experienced this and that. So she realized at that time, she was like, I don't think my religion has the answers that I'm looking for. So then she spoke to Puran Prakash Prabhu, and he told her a bit about Krishna consciousness and stuff. And I told her, I said, look, Vedic knowledge can explain exactly what happened to you. I goes, when you were coming out of your body, did you see a light and go towards it? She goes, yeah, there was a light. I goes, in the scriptures it says that when the soul comes out of the body, one of the gates of the body, one of these holes, is illuminated by light, and you follow that light. She goes, yeah, I would see a light and I was going towards it. I goes, your soul came out through one of these holes that was illuminated by light. And I goes, the soul's natural condition is Sad Chid Anand. So eternal, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. And I go, so you were just happy because that's the nature of the soul? And she goes, yeah, I realized when I was floating there, this is the body is the thing that's making me unhappy. My natural state is to be fully happy. And I told her, I said, because I explained, I said, look, these are our prison cells. These bodies, we're encaged in these bodies. And I said, and the material universe is actually a prison where we're reforming ourselves. And she goes, well, how can I break this? Because she goes, I could see that death is not the real fear. It's just being born again and again. And so I told her about chanting, about Krishna consciousness, about this. So it's amazing. We've talked about NDs, and I have so many times at university, many, many times. I've never seen someone who had that experience. And seeing her, I hadn't even described it yet, and she described all of the major characteristics that people who see NDEs have. And I was saying afterwards, she actually had a positive NDE, because there are negative ones people get where they see yum boots and stuff. So she was a very devout Muslim, so she must have been like a religious person to get a positive NDE. So it was incredible to see this.
She said she used to pray every day.
Yeah, she used to pray a lot. Yeah. So, but she's seen that her actual religion couldn't answer the questions. So
she said she stopped praying.
Yeah, she stopped praying.
And we are going to invite her to see Jayadev.
Yeah, Jayadev. So he can regress her and actually, because she wants to see her previous lives. So I talked about. Yeah, I think if you invite her, then. So she was chanting and stuff like that. So it was a very, very good preaching program. And I think it's good to have these where you invite people like that aren't already Krishna conscious, because otherwise it's nice that you have Easter Ghostly with devotees, but when you got new people there, then you can preach to them and like help get someone started on their journey. So I just thought, let's just share. So if we can all stand up, we'll do a quick arti because we're already a little bit late today. Share.
Round of applause for that experience.
Just sing it once.
Jayo Goranitai, 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 Jayo Goranitai. Ho Jayo Goranitai, 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 Jayo Goranitai. Iba Jayo, Jayo, Gora Chande, Arati ko sobha.
Shiva Jayo, Jayo, Gora Chande, Arati ka shobha.
Jana vitatavane, Jaga man lobha.
Jaga man lobha.
Rakhi nitai cha, Bame gadadhara.
Rakhi nitai cha, Bame gadagara.
Nikai te advaita Srini, Vasha Chatradhara.
Nikate Advaita Srini, Vasa Chakradhara.
Vashi Ache Goracha, Ratna Simasane.
Vashi Ache Goracha, Ratna Simhasane.
gore na Brahma Adi Devagane
Arati kare na Brahma Adi Devagane
Narhari Adi Kori Chamara Dhulaya
Narari Adi Kori Kamara Dulaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadigaya
Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Goshadigaya
Baje Ganta Baje Baje Kartala
Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala
Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasala
Madhura Mridanga Baje Paramarasalala
Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje
Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur Madhu Madhur Baje
Shankha Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje
Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur Madhu Madhur Baje
Madhur 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 Baje
Madhur 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 Baje
Madhur 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 Baje
Madhur 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 Baje
Nittai Gora Hari Bol
Nittai Gaur
Hari Bol
Nittai Gaur
Hari Bol Nittai Gora Hari Bol
Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur
Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur
Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vadana Ujvala
Bahu Koti Chandrajini Vandana Ujvala
Gala Dese Banamala Kore Jalamala
Gala Desi Mala Kore Janamala
Shiva Sukanarada Preme Gadagada
Shiva Sukanarada Preme Gadagada
Bhakati Vinoda Dekhe Gora Rasampada
Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gora Rasampada
Jayo Jayo Gora Chande Arati Ko Shobha
Jayo Jayo Gora Chande Arati Ka Shobha
Janavi
భవాని జగమనలోబా
గోరాంగేరో ఆరతి శోభా జగా జనమానాలోబా
గౌరాంగే ఆరతి శోభా జగ జనమానలోబా
గోరాంగేరో ఆరతి శోభా జగా జనమానాలోబా
గౌరాంగే ఆరతి శోభా జగ జనమానలోబా
జగ జనమనలోబా
జగ జనమనలోబా
జగ జనమనలోబా
జగ జనమనలోబా
నిత్య గౌర హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్
హరి బోల్
హరి బోల్ నిత్య గౌర హరి బోల్
నిత్య గౌర హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ నిత్య గౌర హరి బోల్
హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్
హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్ హరి బోల్
నిత్య గౌర నిత్య గౌర నిత్య గౌర నిత్య గౌర
నిత్య గౌర్ నిత్య గౌర్ నిత్య గౌర్ నిత్య గౌర్
नमयोम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने
नमयोम दया कृष्ण प्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे
प्रभुपाद
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्वाशेष शून्यवधि पश्चादिशतारिणे
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्ण
हरि बोल
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jayo Gauranidai Gauranidai Jayo Gauranidai
Jayo Gauranitai 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 Jayo Gauranitai
Jayo Gauranidai Gauranidai Jayo Gauranidai
Jayo Gauranitai 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 Jayo Gauranitai
Jayo Sachinandan Jayo Nitai Sachinandan Jayo Nitai
Jayo Sachinandana Jayo Nitai Chan Sachinandana Jayo Nitai Chan
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Gauranga 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 Gauranga
Gauranga Gauranga Gauranga Gauranga
Gauranga Gauranga
Gauranga Gauranga Gauranga Gauranga
Oh Nityananda 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 Nityananda
Nityananda Nityananda Nityananda
Oh Nityananda 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 Nityananda
Nityananda Nityananda Nityananda
Oh Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Oh Gaura 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 Hare
Gaura 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 Hare
Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Baba Tume
Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Baba Tume
Jayo Jagannath
Hey Maniva
Jayo Jagannath
Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath Swami, Jayo Jagannath.
Jayo Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jayo Subhadra.
Jayo Baladev, Jayo Subhadra, Jayo Baladeva, Jayo Subhadra.
Jayo Sudarshan, Jai Sudarshan, Jai Sudarshan, Rakshama.
Jayo Sudarshan, Jayo Sudarshan, Jayo Sudarshan, Rakshama.
Jayo Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jayo Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe.
Jayo Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jayo Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar Radhe.
Jayo Giri Govardhan,
Jayo.
Giri Govardhan,
Jayo.
Giri Govardhan, Jayo Giri Govardhan.
Jayo Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jayo Giri Govardhan.
Jayo Shri Madhusudan,
Jayo.
Shri Madhusudan, Shri Madhusudan, Jayo Shri Madhusudan.
Jayo Shri Madhusudan, Shri Madhusudan, Shri Madhusudan, Jayo Shri Madhusudan.
Jayo Mani Ma,
Hey, Mani Ma.
Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Jayo Mani Ma.
Jayo Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Mani Ma, Jayo Mani Ma.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Sita Rama Rama
Jai Sri Ram.
Rama Sita Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram
Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Raja Rama Rama
Jai Ho.
Rama Raja Rama Rama Ram
Raja Ram Ram Ram, Raja Ram Ram Ram.
Raja Rama Rama Ram Raja Rama Rama Ram
Raja Ram Ram Ram, Raja Ram Ram Ram.
Sita Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Sita Rama Rama Ram Sita Rama Rama Ram
Sita Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Prabhupada Jayo Prabhupada Jagat Guru
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jagat Guru.
Jayo Gurudev
Jai Gurudev.
Gurudev Gurudev Jayo Gurudev Patite Pavan
Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Patita Pavan.
Nitai Gora Hari Bol
Nittai Go,
Hari Bol
Nittai Go,
Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol
Nittai Gaura हरि हरि बोल।
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस पुरे ब्रजगाचार्य श्री श्रीमद अभय शरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस पुरे ब्रजगाचार्य श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु परंपरा की जय। सर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री सच्चिनंदन निताय चांद की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव राधा रमन भगवान की जय। एकादशी तिथि महोत्सव की जय। ISKCON Coventry की जय। परम आराध्य पतित पावन श्रीला गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the Smulivities. All glories to the Smulivities. All glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj ki jai ho.
Hare Krishna, we're going to be nursing Aarti now. And we are especially remembering His Holiness Jayapataka Swami and also our own dear member Namdev. He was supposed to come today, but he hasn't. We will. Anyway, let's keep praying for him. Oh yes, it's incredible. We've known the Bengali family since the beginning of this yatra. And one of the families is the Debnath family. We don't see them much here, but they've still been supporting us through all this time. And tragically, her son, 43, passed away just a few days ago. 43. You know, septicemia or something, an internal infections, organ failure. So next week, feast is being sponsored by them in his memory. Hare Krishna. So, Swapan Debnath. A friend of from Prabhuji Prakash. Hare Krishna. He's in hospital.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jaya